Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel Global. How much do you know about Chinese universities? You've probably heard of Peking and Tsinghua University. But do you know that China has over 1,300 universities and over 1,500 vocational schools? Every year, more than 13 million students take the National College Entrance Examination, known as Gaokao, to compete for spots in this incredibly vast and diverse higher education system. China's universities are recognized from globally recognized research powerhouses to regional vocational and technical colleges. The country's higher education hierarchy is shaped not by academic prestiges alone, but also by national policy initiatives like the 985 and 211 projects, and more recently, the double first class scheme. In this video, we are going to break down how China's higher education system works, what these labels really mean, and highlight some of the top institutions you might want to consider whether you're applying, collaborating, or just curious. And if you haven't seen our last video on the China's National College Entrance Examination, make sure to check it out. Now, let's get started. At the very top of China's higher education pyramid is the C9 League, often referred to as China's Ivy League. At the center of this elite group are Tsinghua and Peking University, sometimes called the MIT and Harvard of China. Both are located in Beijing. Tsinghua is a global leader in engineering, computer science, and architecture, regularly ranked amongst the world's top 20 universities. Peking University, on the other hand, is renowned for humanities, social science, and natural sciences, with its beautiful lakeside campus being a national symbol of academic excellence. Together with these two, the C9 League was officially formed in 2009 by 9 top-tier universities, all of which were the first to be selected into China's 985 project for world-class university development. We'll get to that later. The full list includes Peking University and Tsinghua University, Fudan University and Jiao Tong University in Shanghai, Nanjing University in Nanjing, Zhejiang University in Hangzhou, University of Science and Technology of China in Hefei, Harbin Institution of Technology in Harbin, and Xi'an Jiao Tong University in Xi'an. So all are located in first or second tier cities in China and directly overseen by China's Ministry of Education and constantly ranked in the top 10 domestically. They're also high on global lists, with 5 of them included in the top 50 on QS ranking and 6 of them included in the top 50 on Times Higher Education ranking. In China's job market, major companies like Huawei and Tencent still treat C9 universities as target schools. But with only 0.35% of Gaokao candidates making into a C9 university, these schools are not only prestigious, they are incredibly competitive. Now, let's look at the Project 985 and 211, 2 landmark national initiatives that have shaped the structure of Chinese higher education for more than 2 decades. Project 211 was launched in 1995, and its name literally stands for 21st Century 100 Key Universities. It was a strategic effort to elevate about 100 universities, ensuring China's higher education system could meet the demand in 21st century. In total, around 115 universities were brought under that umbrella. Each received substantial government funding to strengthen academic programs, and every province was granted at least one 211 university, a move designated to promote regional education equity. Then came Project 985, announced in May 1998 during Peking University's 100th anniversary. Officially launched in 1999, it aimed higher to build world-class universities capable of competing globally in both research and reputation. The project began with 9 founding institutions, which later became the C9 League, and was eventually expanded to 39 elite universities, all of which are also part of the 211 group. These schools receive much more concentrated resources, and they host the majority of China's national key laboratories and lead high-impact scientific projects. In terms of competition, every year only about 1.5% of Gaokao students were admitted to 985 universities and 2.5% to 211 universities, a testament to how competitive these schools remain. As one popular saying puts it, 211 universities offer broad-based national support, while 985 universities represent elite, high-impact breakthroughs. Together, they form the top of China's higher education pyramid and remain the core benchmark for university prestigious today. In 2017, China officially launched the Double First Class Initiative, a bold new strategy to reshape its higher education landscape. The goal? To move beyond the legacy of the 985 and 211 projects and build a system that rewards academic excellence through dynamic competition, not just historical status. So what does Double First Class mean? It has two core goals. First, world-class universities, divided into Category A, which includes 36 top-tier universities, mostly former 985s, and Category B, including rising institutions like Xinjiang University. Secondly, world-class disciplines, covering over 140 universities with specific academic programs designated for targeted funding. For example, Nanjing University of Post and Telecommunications was recognized for electronic science, and Shanghai University of Sport was for sports science. Unlike the old system, Double First Class is not permanent. Universities and disciplines are re-evaluated every 5 years based on research output, academic reputation, and social contribution. This creates real movement. In the last round, Shanxi University and Xiangtan University gained new recognition for physics and maths. Others, like Ningbo University, were publicly warned, improve or risk being removed. Double First Class replaces status with academic competition, a step towards fairness, but for now it coexists with the deep-rooted 985 and 211 labels. So far, we've talked about public universities, which are the majority in China's higher education system, and only cost a few $100 tuition fee per year. But what lies beyond the government-funded system? Now, before we continue in this video, I would really like to thank you all for watching it. However, at the same time, over 90% of you are not subscribing to this channel, and more than 99% are not yet a member of this channel. It would be highly appreciated if you do so. China's higher education landscape also includes private universities and Sino-Foreign joint ventures, both of which have grown rapidly and brought new dynamics to the system recently. As of 2023, China has 756 private universities and colleges, accounting for nearly 28% of all higher education institutions, with about 8 million students enrolled. These schools are mostly concentrated in central and coastal provinces like Guangdong, Jiangsu, and Shandong, while western regions have fewer. Historically, private universities began as vocational institutions. A major turning point came with the 2003 Private Education Law, which gave them equal legal standing with public universities and allowed both non-profit and for-profit models. However, challenges remain. Many employers still have an implicit bias against private degrees, though top-tier schools like Westlake universities are changing that perspective, but slowly. Funding is also limited. Private universities typically operate on 1/3 per student budget of public universities. Another growing sector is joint venture universities and programs with overseas institutions like New York University Shanghai or Duke Kunshan University. These are legally recognized, operate in English, and charge high tuition fee, often over 150,000 RMB per year. They grant dual degrees and are heavily international in both faculty and curriculum. Government policies have supported this trend, especially in STEAM fields, while limiting expansion in humanities and law. On one side, these joint ventures provide more international programs, but at the same time, they're at least 10 times more expensive. Now, we've talked a lot about the universities, but what about the subjects? China's universities are heavily leaning into STEAM, with around 60% of undergrads, or in absolute numbers that is over 4 million. But this rapid growth comes with issues. Not enough qualified faculty and some fields outpacing job demand. Meanwhile, the humanities are under pressure. Thousands of programs in literature, philosophy, and public administration have been cut, and many top students are switching to more practical majors. At the same time, efforts to promote liberal arts education remain slow. General education courses make up just 12% of total credits, and while models like Fudan's college system or Tsinghua's Great Books courses are promising, but many face resistance from institutions, parents, and even students who often see them as irrelevant. Professors also get little recognition for teaching outside their research areas. We've talked a lot about China's universities, but actually half of all higher education students in China study in vocational colleges, known in Chinese as 大专. Vocational colleges in China offer 3-year associate degrees, focusing on practical skills and job readiness. There are over 1,500 of these institutions across the country, and in 2023, they enrolled more than 8 million students. These schools train everything from railway technicians and healthcare workers to AI developers, drone pilots, and even esports managers. China's fast-changing economy needs millions of skilled workers, and blue-collar workers often have even better salary than university degrees with a less appealing bachelor's degree. Plus, the 3 years instead of 4 years needed for a bachelor's degree makes it sometimes more appealing to families with less financial resources. To support this, the government launched major initiatives like the Double High Plan, aiming to turn top vocational colleges into world-class talent hubs. Admission is also more accessible. While elite universities accept less than 1% of Gaokao candidates, over 85% of high school grads can get into vocational colleges, allowing more options for students. So that's it for our video today. Hope it helps you to understand China's higher education system and how to choose universities in China. Indeed, it is a vast and complex system combined with national college entrance examination. Hence why many parents in China would even pay consulting fees to help their kids to choose universities and subjects. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on our next video.